Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 3 of StarCraft 2. Today we have the back-to-back Home Story Cup winner Gumiho in the bottom left as our blue Terran, fighting against Zaun, the recent military returnee, as he's had a stint in the military, where all Koreans have to at some point do their military service, and he's finished it, I believe, last September. He's back, and I think this is a very good timing for him. Because if you come back just as a patch hits, you don't lose as much compared to when you come into a pretty stale meta game, right? Because right now everyone is pretty much trying to figure out like, hey, well, what are the new strategies? How am I supposed to play? What does the early game look like? Of course, there's a lot of overlap still with the previous patch as well, but I do believe this to be a bit of an advantage for Zaun. You know, he's fresh. He comes in and everyone basically starts anew. I'm loving that for him. He was one of the TOS players that I always really respected. I always felt like he missed like a very big win. I feel like he might have won a super tournament at some point, but I could be wrong about that. And it's nice to have some Protoss blood back with him and Trap returning. I'm feeling good about the chances of Protoss in 2025, to be honest. It's going to open up with a Stalker, so already very different from what we used to see out of a lot of tosses. This has become extremely popular over the past week, 2 weeks or so, where we see almost every single Protoss player just opening up with Stalker, Stalker Sentry, Stalker, lots of stuff like that. And indeed, it's going to be a Stalker start here for Zaun. Now, the reason for that is because the Stalker just pops out a little bit quicker, which allows you to be fairly safe against most things. It's going to follow this up with a fast Twilight Council, which I love as well. Stalker, Twilight Council. And then the question, of course, is going to be, how will you follow it up with? Are we going to see a Sentry, or are we just going to relax? And it's going to be a Sentry. I freaking love this build order so much. Blind Battery in the wall as well, in case it's going to be some type of double gas opener out of Gumiho. Honestly, I haven't looked at Gumiho's base once, but to me this looks like it was... Oh, we see 5 Marines here. 6 Marines, I can't count. This was a Reactor first out of Gumiho. Reactor first into slightly delayed Factory, and then Mine drop most likely here, because we already have 1 mine out that is burrowed somewhere. I can't see it anymore. Maybe the young kids, the young bucks with the good eyes can still see it. Oh, it's in between the... There you go. Managed to find it. Only took me 15 seconds. No wonder I always fly into these things. Even with map hacks, I would fly into them. Gonna have a hallucination scout now coming in. It's gonna see what it is. Sees that it's most likely a mine drop, because there's no tech lab. There is a starport without a tech lab. Cyclones now require a tech lab. Tanks require a tech lab. If it was going to be Hellion, this factory would be reactored, and it's not. So you know it's just going to be a double or triple mine drop even in this case. Look at that. Even it's going to get fully spotted here. We have a Marine move out with it as well. I think that is a fake move out. I don't think you can really achieve anything with that. Hallucination needs to be sent out ASAP as well. Follow-up for Zaun is going to be a robotics facility, as well as a 3rd gas, and a really quick Nexus too. Look at this. What the hell? This is such a risky move. He must know something that I don't, but he's just going to catch this right in the middle of the map. He knew that his opponent was going to his 3rd base, and I don't understand quite how he managed to figure that out. That's a story he'll need to tell me sometimes after a couple of beers, because I am mighty curious. The way that a lot of the high-level tosses play it at the moment... Well, there's a huge supply book, by the way, but the way that a lot of tosses play it is they send a second hallucination to kind of track that medevac to see where it's going, and then you can stop it from entering your base, or... You know, you can kill it in the middle of the map if you are as fortunate as Zaun was over here. But Zaun just moved 4 Stalkers to a seemingly random position. I guess it is the straightest line from Gumiho's base into Zaun's main base. But Gumiho could have gone into the natural. Gumiho could have taken this angle. Gumiho could have gone to the top and taken this angle. Like, there was a lot of possibilities here. And this was a risky maneuver out of Zaun that definitely did pay off. Now, the follow-up for Gumiho is going to be pretty much a Gumiho classic. Gumiho loves doing these kind of minor harassments with mines, or maybe even like a Cyclone Marine drop or a Tank Marine drop, and then follow it up with another Marine tank attack. And these Marine tank attacks, they feel real, but often are kind of fake. They don't have stim, they don't have combat shield. I've seen Gumiho just stand in the middle of the map with a tank and just kind of hold a position for minutes on end. Really for minutes on end, nothing else. This mine, by the way, still managing to get a couple of kills here, which is nice. Yeah, now he's just going to go back home. Very odd. The reason, I think, why Gumiho likes doing this is because it forces out a lot of stalkers. As long as you're building stalkers as the Protoss player, it means that you're delaying your extra gateways. We saw Zaun added in 2 extra gateways already during that move out. So he did a lot of the production, or all of the production so far on 2 gates, went up to 4, and now he's adding 2 more. But he's also managed to tech into Colossus. First Colossus is out, second Colossus on the way, thermal lens now coming out. Stalkers in a random position to try and catch a Raven, but actually are not going to spot this Raven, which is now going to fly into the main base. 127 energy. That means going to throw down 2 auto turrets, I believe. Or at least has the ability to throw down 2 auto turrets. Going to get 1 for now. Big blink forward. Is this Raven going to survive? The answer is no. Raven gets taken out. Really not a whole lot of damage has been dealt. You have an observer on the other side of the map spotting this army. 3rd CC is on the way too. I wonder if Zaun is planning on sending some of these stalkers across to kind of fight his opponent's army, or if he's just going to chill at home. Both are absolutely fair options. As this forge now is coming in. 3rd CC flying over as well. And this relatively eventful early game has now pretty much led us into a stabilized mid game, in which we have a couple of tanks here at the 3rd base. We have scouting with the hallucination once again. So a good kind of a lay of the land here for Zaun. He knows exactly what's kicking off here, you know? He knows, okay, you're gonna go into mines from here on out. You have 2 tanks. Maybe I can meet you in the map a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of plays like this. It always feels like, if you're a Protoss player, that, you know, the moment the first 2 Colossus are out and you have thermal lands, you know, you want to start making moves. You know, you want to get out there on the map. But once the Marauder count is higher than 2, really, Colossus, they lose a little bit of their strength, especially in open spaces. Now, there is some relative chokes around, but this type of area scares the crap out of me. And Zaun does have a good vision. Used to have good vision back in the day, before that before that observer got scanned. There's another observer coming in right now. Gonna set it up in the siege mode, siege observer mode, observation mode. I'm not even sure what that's called. Do we have charge on these? Yeah, we do have charge. We have 1-1 upgrades coming in. No upgrade has finished quite yet though, and Gumiho with 2 tanks is now planning on killing the 4th base. And a lot of the Terran gameplay revolves around this 4th base and trying to take it out before it really manages to set up. So here we go. A couple of Marines moving in forward. Tanks getting some fat shots off. Are in range of this cannon. Nice setup, honestly, here out of Gumiho. Of course, disruptors can clear both of these mines here fairly consistently. Battery gets energy recharge there, just has a little bit more staying power in that case. Ghosts coming out. Are these the first ghosts that are coming out? I think so, right? Okay, we already have 2 on the natural. Vikings being built at a high pace as well. So 4 Vikings, 3 ghosts. There's only 2 Colossus. Ooh, Gumiho does send the stim instantly. And look at that army. That is a well-damaged army already here. These medevacs are gonna need to continue healing for a little while. They're low in the purple energy. 4th CC is about to finish up here. Fusion core, and then I guess 2nd starport. No, he's gonna go fusion core 8 racks. That almost makes me believe that the upgrade he's aiming for is Caduceus reactor and not Liberator range. This is a typical Gumiho thing as well. I've seen this many times in the past out of him, where he'll, rather than going straight for advanced ballistics, he'll open up with Caduceus reactor. Because he likes stimming a lot maybe, or he likes being active. Yeah, here we go. Actually does get the Caduceus first. He's gonna add in a 2nd starport as well, but still, it is wild. There's no other player that does this, but he sees a lot of value in this upgrade. He sees a lot of value in staying low on medevacs, I guess, and keeping a large army. And so both players just kind of standing in the middle, waiting for something to happen. At least Zaun standing in the middle. Has good vision here with this observer. Has good vision on the right side with an observer as well. It's the advantage of having 2 robots, of course. Prism is out, 3rd observer is out too. Dark Shrine on the way. This 5th base is about to set up. Minerals are being mined away from the rich Vespine geyser. Gonna have a move in forward here. Here comes Purification Nova number 1. Here comes Purification Nova number 2. It's going to connect with 2 of these Marauders and they barely stay alive. We'll end up getting cleared. 2 Ghosts there going down as Zaun moves into an aggressive position here. I think this is just going to be a really tough fight, honestly, for Gumiho. Gumiho just doesn't have that much. And look how careful Zaun is playing this. He's saying, hey, as long as I can get 3 shots off with my Disruptors, I don't really want to fight with my main army. So now he's moving away again. Hasn't taken any damage on the Colossus. Maybe he has lost a Disruptor. Yeah, lost 1 Disruptor, but cleared quite a bit as well. I would love for this Prism to go do something. Yeah, there we go. Gravitic Boosters now coming in. Gravitic Drive queued up afterwards already as well. It's good stuff. It really is. Here we go. Oh, Fat Disruptor shots. Not going to connect. Maybe the next ones can. Nope, they can't. That was 4 Purification Novas. There's only a single one remaining. So at this point, if I'm Zaun, I want to be real careful. I want to get all of these Purification Novas back before I go for my next fight. Don't want to fight, you know, with an empty chamber. Needs to be around in there. And currently not the case. It's just going to rotate towards the bottom side. Prism could go into the main. Could also just join the regular fight here. Salad's moving towards the bunker. Purification Nova is not quite hitting. Now maybe we can get a couple of big ones. There we go. Some decent shots on the Purification Novas. What is the overall gate count? It's at 14. Love some big reinforcements straight into the fight with the Prism we have on the bottom. But instead we're getting reinforcements over here at the 5th base. This was overall a good fight for Zaun. Has managed to keep his Disruptors alive. Lost his Colossus against the 6 Vikings. As this Prism is still hanging around as well. A lot of freaking Stalkers out on the map. 6th base as well. Gumiho pushing into this. I'm not a fan of that. If this is actually what Gumiho's plan is. Love this tank position, by the way. It's going to provide some assistance from the high ground. Could perhaps even move up a little bit further forward. Prism still technically available, you know, for some dirty tasks, but seems like Zaun doesn't want to fly into a main base anytime soon. We have our first 4 lips coming out, and that could actually be a change in pace the moment Liberators hit the map. Ooh, medevac count fairly high. Vikings do manage to lift before they get hit. There's no Colossus available to shoot at though. Tank positioning is good too here. Makes it feel like, you know, Zaun is under more fire than he really would be. I don't think Zaun is in any type of trouble here, if I'm being honest with you all. He has 2 Immortals, he has 10 DTs, 5 Disruptors. We have Blink on the DTs. Yeah, we do. Okay. So I can only imagine him going for a snipe on this fort while simultaneously doing some Disruptor dancing. And really, some dancing is what I would expect here. Here come the DTs. Tanks will try to shoot. No repair on this planetary. Only 2 DTs end up going down. At the same time, we have another attack moving in forward. Disruptor count is... well, the active Disruptor count is fairly low right now. We see a single one that can shoot. Second one now becomes available. Prism is still here, and he finally realizes it. He's going to be using it. DT's getting back in. We'll snipe both of these tanks. Zealots from the top side coming in as well. As just a very convincing game here out of Zaun. Saying, hey, I might not have been playing for a year and a half or so, but these Disruptors, they still function fine. My early game was absolutely phenomenal. After killing that medevac, and I'm here to pick up game number 1. We're just gonna do that on ley lines here. Vikings are gonna try to land. I mean, they will land and they will die instantly. A couple more Purification Novas coming out. Will get the finish up. Don't really kill anything though. And the next Salad Warpin should pretty much seal the deal here in my mind. That is 80 workers to 26. It is 14 gateways, and Gumiho indeed taps out with a GG. In our second game, we have the exact same opener here for Zaun. Stalker, Blind Battery, Stalker. So he must really love this opener. Because otherwise, you know, you wouldn't use it twice. Most of the time, even if I really love an opener, I'm not going to use it twice. Because it feels wrong to use the exact same thing twice in a row. But we actually see Gumiho doing the exact same opener too. He's opening up with a reactor first into factory, and he's gonna go for a mine. In Gumiho's case, in a way I can understand it more. Because his early game, last game, was complete dog water, right? if you think back of it, he loses his first medevac. His Raven harass does absolutely nothing. And his Marine tank push gets nipped in the butt as it starts walking across the map. It's like, these are some of the worst things that can happen to a Terran player. And they all happened within one game. So from Gumiho's perspective, I can kind of understand it in like in a way where he's like, I really wanted to play this build, but I want it to be, you know, I want to execute it accurately. Because he did manage to still go into a longer game. It's not like he died 6 minutes in. So I think he's probably going to go for a similar opening. He's massively supply block here at 46, though. That is really painful. It's going to cost him 2 workers or so. I've seen that supply block for a while now already. Yeah, it's like 2.5 workers. Very painful start here for our good friend Gumiho. He's going to be waiting for his third mine to finish and then gets to drop across the map. I am so curious if Zaun's movement is going to be the exact same or if he has different plans this time around. I'm just so curious how he's going to move his Stalker. So we're going to see that warp in right now. There we go. It's going to go up to 4. Okay, now he's going to be using the hallucination. Come on, let's see how ballsy you are. Hey, is he actually moving to in the right spot again? No way. Yeah, this time life ain't so easy, is it, buddy? His medevac is gonna be moving in from the side. Sounds somewhat in position. Ooh, but not in position enough. And as there's no blink, that means that 1 mine is gonna go in here. 2 mines are gonna go into the main base. And that creates a lot of space here for these Marines to try and cancel this third base. I at least think that's what the plan is going to be. So there's a lot of action happening, you know, all over, well, Zaun's bases really, not all over the map. They're going to go back into the natural, into the main, into the natural. And this third base is going to be in some serious trouble. I wonder how much Gumiho is willing to give up, though, for a cancel on this third base. Because let's face it, oh, this is nice micro here on the mine behind all of this. Yeah, these Marines are most likely just going to die. Can he get anything done? Mine gets the hit. As 1 Stalker goes down, can we get a 2nd Stalker here as well? Maybe no. These bad boys are going to move forward. Yep, we're going to get another Stalker. No, we're not going to get another Stalker. This is a serious delay on this third base, by the way. Oh. Resources lost here. 850 resources lost against the 550 of the opponent. If Zaun... Oh my god, Zaun is massively supply low as well. Look at it. 62 out of 62. He needs to add like 4 pylons about a minute ago. Now he's going to add 2 pylons, get charge. I was going to say, if Zaun had kind of managed to figure this all out, like that the Marine move out was happening, he could have maybe just taken a 4th gas and gone for a really fast Colossus behind this, or even 2-base Storm, you know? But now he basically has the setup to go for mass gateway units, which is great if you have good eco, except for the fact that he doesn't have eco whatsoever. His eco is god-awful. He's gonna try to fly in here with a tank Marine drop. At the same time, this Raven tries to throw down a little bit of an auto turret. I think we did see a recall here out of Zaun because he was on the other side of the map. And then I looked away for a second and he wasn't on the other side of the map anymore. Pylon here is gonna get sniped and Gumiho's just gonna boost away. Gumiho is really good at kind of pushing the limits of his units. And sometimes these limits get pushed a little bit too hard. But this time around, it felt like everything just worked out perfectly. The polar opposite of game number 1. Oh no. There you go. Medevac is still gonna get sniped down. And oh, wait, is this double Raven? But it is without interference matrix. It is double Raven, right? Yeah, there's one over here as well. I was seeing double for a second here, but no. Just has 2 Ravens. That's very rare. It's going to help him take out observers, obviously. We see a much more conservative movement with those invisible spotters now out of Zaun. It's adding in more and more Stalkers. Wants to delay the move out for as long as possible. I think the problem here for Zaun, honestly, is that he has no splash. He has no 4th base. He doesn't even have good infrastructure yet. He legitimately has nothing. Gumiho, meanwhile, taking out the gold minerals, wants to maybe take that as a 4th base. He's looking far into the future already. I'm not sure if that's even necessary because, I mean, I'm not saying I'm struggling to see how Zaun is gonna stay alive. I think it is possible, but it's not going to be easy. The Zealots being sent back, I'm not a huge fan of. Would have much preferred seeing them as a run-by, because even if you hold this, you're still going to be behind in eco. You need to get some kills in right now. And I always feel like it's easier to defend stuff if you're also attacking at the same time. And forcing the Terran to kind of push into you at a high pace. Raven comes back in. It's going to throw down an auto turret. Will not get a lot of kills here. So this army is just going to pull back. We have reinforcements that are already being set up. Next tank is out as well. And oh no. Gumiho actually getting caught here with a portion of his force. Zaun back in action. He's going to walk into this, which I am not entirely sure of. The supplies look good here for a second until we walked up a ramp. Is this allowed? Hey, it's allowed, but you're gonna get punished for it. You're gonna have to face the consequences here. And this time the consequence is that, yeah, he's just freaking dead. Gumiho's gonna win this game. This went from bad for Gumiho to pretty freaking good in a matter of like 10 seconds or so. The score now is 1-1. And just like that, we find ourselves in game number 3 here on King's Cup. I'd be shocked if we see the exact same opener again out of Zaun. 2 reasons. Oh my god, Gumiho's actually just going reactor first again. It's like these guys just have one build. Which is especially insane coming out of Gumiho. Gumiho never does this type of stuff. Gumiho will manage to play 5 different builds in a best of 3 most of the time. So this is actually kind of shocking to me. Like, you legit... What is this wall? What is the purpose of this? Is it like a hidden technique that I haven't seen before? The ancient Greeks invented this, and this knowledge has been forgotten. And now Gumiho brings it back. What the hell is this depot placement? It's providing the adept stalker a bit more space. It's very nice, but I don't quite see the purpose for the Terran. Harder to snipe the depot from the low ground, maybe? It's not like there's a lot of, you know, stalker space here. I don't know. I'm really curious what this is. I feel like sometimes he just does stuff because it looks cool. It does look cool. And that's a, you know, it's a fair reason to do things as well. Absolutely. All right, we're going to have a second gas coming out once more. I cannot believe that both of these guys are just playing... Oh no, it's going to be Stalker Sentry now. Okay, at least a little bit of change. So rather than playing Stalker Stalker, it's going to be Stalker Sentry into... Nothing else. He's going very hard here, by the way. You see that? On the freaking Chronos. What the hell? King Chrono. This is also different. Skipping his 3rd gateway unit. Can you even do this? You have money for that? Zaun is playing an absolute fire here. He's gonna have sick eco though. He didn't even energy recharge this sentry, by the way. He's just playing it old school. He's kicking it old school. He's gonna get a 3rd gateway unit, but it is fairly late. Oh, we have a slight variation here as well. Look at this. Double mines moving out. If he can get the snipe here on the Halu, that would be sick, but he won't. Now it's going to be important actually for Zaun to figure out whether this is cars or mines. Usually it's still going to be mines in this case when the starport is at home. And another fat tell here is going to be these mines actually running out of the factory with their tiny little legs. It's going to be a dead giveaway if you ask me. That is indeed is going to be a mine drop. I would want to recharge this sentry so badly right now. I would love to have a cheeky recharge there on that sentry. 2 stalkers in the main. We're gonna have a minor marine walkout. Dude, he just loves this. This should be less effective though because it's way less marines. The previous game was like freaking 10 marines or maybe even 12. This time you're gonna have 1 more mine but 4 or 6 less marines. So I'm not sure how worthwhile that is. I guess last game the damage really had to come from the marines. This game the damage really has to come from this mine drop. And here goes Gumiho as he boosts into the natural of his opponent. He's gonna blast 2 probes pretty much instantly. Good on Boro there on the 2nd mine. He's gonna lose his medevac. That sucks. Saw the lack of a 3rd base. And I love the little, you know, the little change of pace here coming out of Zaun. Can we unburrow? Can we unburrow? Oh, nice retarget! Oh. Good last second adjustment there on those probes. He's gonna lose 6 probes and then he just very subtly, in a very subtle manner, he managed to move 1 probe a bit to the right. Otherwise he would have lost 7. Such a minor difference, a minor adjustment with some large outcomes attached to it. What is this turret? You know how Gumiho is building? This is how your buildings are set up at the beginning of a campaign mission. You know, like the campaign designer in Blizzard is like, all right, the turret right behind the depots, a little bit to the left of the bunker. Yeah, like what the hell is this turret doing here? Isn't that just in range of stalkers as well? Like stalker show up can just kill that. That also always happens in the campaign mission. Like your first setup is like god awful. It's like infinite surface area for like the 10 zerglings that show up, and then the mutas and the ultralisk. It's like, why would you do this to me, campaign designer? Why couldn't you just put it in a normal position where it actually, you know, makes some sense? A less surface area for the opponent's units, you know, creating chokes as well. It's never the case. Like, this bunker also is as far forward as possible so that zealots can have... Like, this is just like in the campaign, man. Every time that happens, I get upset. Surreal stuff. Okay, there's going to be a Colossus follow-up. So once more, pretty fast Colossus. But on bad eco compared to the first game. Better eco compared to the second game, because the second game eco was really freaking bad. Third CC is going to come out at some point, and we're just waiting for these first two medevacts to pop onto the map as well. Combat shield, stim. There you go. Double medevacts. If he picks up and double drops, that would be epic. Alright, this is epic already. Oh, no. I think he spotted the observer spotting him. I don't think he did. I think he wanted to clear some stalkers. He's ready to flank stalkers, but these stalkers are ready to just kill marines here. The observer movement, by the way, out of Zaun is freaking phenomenal. He just continuously sees everything. And he's the king of seeing stuff. 20/20 vision. That's what they call him. 20/20 Zaun. Because he sees so freaking well, this guy. I don't think Zaun wears glasses in real life, does he? I think I've seen him with glasses sometimes. Ooh, he's gonna send out this drop to the left. Now, here I think Zaun can figure it out because he sees like 10 units over here. It's like, that's interesting. I remember you having a lot of units. Maybe there's some stuff heading into my natural. And indeed, Zaun is gonna go for a split off. Very well done by him. He's gonna just keep, what is this, 8, 9 stalkers into this area. Wish I could count quicker. 9 stalkers. Gumiho, the type of guy though, to just kind of boost past the natural, drop into the main base. Doesn't really care about the rules as much as the others. It's gonna go with 4 medevacts through the middle. 2 medevacts into the nat slash main. And here we see Zaun now. Is he going to have the mental strength to keep these stalkers here? That's the question, because he sees a pretty serious push out, but this is lacking marines, right? Completely lacking marines. Ooh! That's -1 medevac, and that's going to be -2 pretty soon as well. At the same time, we have an attack here moving in forward. Charge lots are available. Oh, this mine count is scary. 2 big mine connections. We have 3 Colossus out here, but target fire is pretty good. Zealots once again going a bit too far forward. As this medevac is going to get cleared, that now means these stalkers can join up with the main force. Zaun in a very commanding lead here in game number 3 on Kingscov. I had not expected a Blink build to perform so well here, because this is a hard map with all of the dead space absolutely everywhere. And Zaun showing it's definitely possible. Does he even have a prism, or is he just gonna willy-nilly walk across the map? I think he might just. 2 more medevacs on the way here. Gumiho. What are you doing? Stop. It's time for some Vikings, buddy. There's 3 Colossus out on the map. The 2 tanks maybe give a bit of safety, but I'm not sure if it's enough to really stop this type of push. Do we have a Guardian Shield? Yes, we do. Big Blink forward is going to snipe 1 tank. Second tank has on siege. GG gets called. Zaun is going to win this series. I can't believe we've seen the same opener out of Gumiho 3 times in a row. And practically the exact same build with some minor altercations, right? This last game we saw a slower third base, a faster fourth gas, because he kind of, you know, he waited for the bigger commitment out of Gumiho, and it did come with the 4 mines and a couple of marines. So that kind of worked out, but yeah, very similar games. Rare to see at the, you know, in the Korean meta. It's these guys, they freaking love to play 10 different build orders, you know, as fast as they can. But well done out of Zaun, taking out the double Home Story Cup champion, showing that it is possible with Protoss to win some games, even on a map like Kingscov. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you all did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.